We've had some discussions here at the conference about open access linking and creating metadata of the metadata.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see those as being opportunities of a similar nature?
Those are also opportunities, yeah. We can become consultants to help their digital information become discoverable better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that again is where we have some expertise, but we can do better on that too. Every library should have at least one person who's taken the class on Google Analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Because if there's one thing we've learned in this environment is that if you're not in that first page, you're non-existent. And so we need to play the game. We need to learn how to make sure that anything that we're digitizing is discoverable by Google and the search engines. And I know in some places they have a separate person who's totally in charge of making sure that everything that the library produces is up on those pages.
Mm-hmm.
We all need to play this game of marketing and outreach.
Mm-hmm.
Does that tend to be a techie person or a reference?
It can be. It's different at every place. Sometimes it can be a reference type librarian.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's a great tech services person or an IT related person, that's a great person to do. Now, obviously that position then becomes very essential. You want to make sure you're cross-trained as well. That training is not cheap.
Right.
It's a class that's very expensive, but it's well worth the cost, especially if you're starting digitization or you've done a bunch of digitization and find out that nobody's really finding your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's different metadata than the type that we do in cataloging.
Right.
That is that discoverable metadata that Google looks for and which they train you to make sure is embedded in your stuff
Mm-hmm.
so that they can discover you correctly and people can find your stuff. That's a very different type of metadata.
Yeah, I mean, that's one area, well, I assume this would help us with the fact that we've got a lot of material, a lot of databases that we are frustrated that people don't know about and they don't use because we don't know how to we don't know how to make it known that it's available.
Right.
And I assume that this kind of person could help with that problem.
They could, and when we always do this database type discovery, we always seem to do a class in the library. We need to get away from that too. If we've got a new database or something we want people to use, we need to go out to the library, to the faculty meetings.
Mm-hmm.
We need to try to embed ourselves out there and try to get 5 or 10 minutes at that meeting because that's where you're going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we have to talk with their dean or their chair or whatever, get involved in there and say, we got a new database. It's real important for your faculty that they know how to use it. Can you give me 5 minutes and I'll give them a quick training session, rather than putting in something in the college newspaper saying we're having training here in the library. As soon as faculty see that, I got to walk over there. I got to make time. I've got a class at that time. We need to go to them when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for us.
Mm-hmm.